What is up, everyone? Once again, welcome back to Chatting with Sim. This is a double dose this Sunday. First Sunday we ever had a double dose, man. That's pretty cool, pretty interesting, guys. Thank you guys for those who are tuning in, who are about to tune in, and for those who are tuning in the future. This is Chatting with Sim, where we get to talk to artists, and it is hosted by your guy, Zim Zima. That's what's up. While we wait for everybody coming into the room, Art Strong, shout out, thank you, you're the first one for tonight. Today we have my boy Nick, you know it, Dude Art, so YAKNOIT _dude _art, you know it, dude. As we wait for Nick, there he is, man of the hour. Make sure you guys follow him here. You guys could also find him on Facebook at You Know What Dude Art. Let me see if I could bring on Nick into the mother. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. If for you guys joining the second stream today, that's awesome. Much love for you guys. Sweet.
What's up, man?
There we go. The man, the myth, the legend. What is up, Nick? How you been, brother?
Pretty good, man. How's it going with you?
Everything is A-OK, man. Had a little break, so it's felt good, man. You know, use the boys' room. Got my shit together, some water, and
Right on.
that's pretty much it, man.
Nice.
Yeah, like I was saying, this is a fun fact. This is the first double dose of Chatting with Zim I done, so it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Super pumped to be here, man.
Cool, man. And right off the back, bro, thank you again for joining. It's always a pleasure to interview you guys, sit down and chat with you guys. I've been a big admirer of your work as well.
Thank you.
It's been a while too, man, that we've been following each other. Yeah, man, your art, does your art vary in size, or is this more like sketch card pieces, or this, what size do you usually work in, man?
Lately I've been working with little like cards about like 5x6. Put them up on like little, nothing too big.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Decent size.
I was working on some ones that were about like classic, like 11x8 and everything like that, but I like the smaller scale helps me with coverage. Got a budget for the supplies and everything like that. You got a smaller framework to go off of, so you don't have to use up too much of your materials.
Sweet, man. So Nick, dude, take us to the beginning, dude. How long you got drawing, and let's start there. Or actually,
Yeah,
you know
I've
what?
been drawing.
You know what? Sorry to cut you off, man. I totally fucking snoozed on this. Let's
Yeah.
chat. Let's chat. Pop culture, dude. Anything in pop culture you're into right now? Anything you're following? Mandalorian, Crisis, DC kind of thing.
I've been watching. I just caught up on Mandalorian this morning, actually.
Fuck yeah.
It was pretty cool. I've been trying to like make sure I space out the episodes because I don't want to sit there and have to like watch one and then wait a whole week and then come watch the other one.
Okay.
So I saw like the first three. I took a break and then I let the next two drop, and then I was all right. Just watch those ones back to back. Yeah. So now I gotta wait another 2 weeks to let those ones go, and then I'll just probably just come back and just start it from scratch.
Oh shit!
But,
You're one of those that
yeah,
started all over again.
yeah, I'll start it back. Yeah, just to make like there's only like 5 episodes right now, so I want to make sure that I can get as much as I can in there.
No,
But yeah, I like to start them all over. Like besides Mandalorian, I'm rewatching Arrow.
Okay.
Getting back on that train.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You,
I saw a lot of like the Crisis promos and stuff like that, so I wanted to like jump back on Arrow.
So have you watched any of the Crisis lately? No, not
No. I only have like Netflix and the Disney Plus right now, so I got rid of like other platforms like that.
yet. Oh, okay.
So I'm waiting for them to, if they I don't know if Crisis will end up dropping on Netflix or anything. I would assume that it's probably going to go to the DC one, the DC streaming service.
Yeah, word, word. Big fan of Star Wars, dude, or what? With the Mandalorian?
Eh.
Yeah,
No, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
sweet.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I
up?
got a lightsaber tattoo right here and huge nerd.
Oh, dude, this is getting naked with Zim.
Yeah, I just start ripping it off and everything. Yeah.
Ah! No, that's funny, dude. So you psyched about the new movie coming up? Star Wars? Oh man, and it looks like he froze up a little bit. Let's see what's going on. While we wait for his stream to get back on, everybody else has been hopping in. Chachi, I see what's going on, brother. Phalo Halo, what's shout out Zombie Taco. And yeah, we lost him. We dropped. Oh man, like he got teleported out of the mothership. Let's see while we wait. Picture player, welcome back. Let's see what happened with my boy Nick over here. Make sure you guys follow his page for guys who haven't seen his work. It's pretty awesome, cool work that he does. Sick coloring as well, and we'll touch more base with that. Let's see. Let's get back Nick on this mothership here. Zap. There it is. Fuck yeah.
There we go. I don't know what happened. It just the whole thing went black.
Oh shit, man. I think they're hearing us about the Star Wars, and we were about to release some spoilers, so I think that
Go into some spoilers. They're like, let's cut that out real
yeah,
quick.
fuck that.
That's funny.
Shut him down. Shut him down. Turn the key. Cool, man. Yeah, dude. So, I mean, we got that out of the way,
Yeah.
you know. So, Nick, man, tell
Yeah.
us more about yourself, bro. What got you into drawing now, for real?
Um, I don't really know. I mean, I've been drawing since like the third grade, since like I really like actually started putting some stuff down. Both my folks were like back in high school and when they were younger, they were really big into art. And so I think that kind of like got ingrained in me as at a young age. And um, in like third grade, I started like just drawing. It was like weird, like pig, dolphin, dragon looking monster things, and it was definitely funky. But I felt like I focused a lot more when I was sitting there like doodling.
hmm
Um, and yeah, as I started going, I was drawing like dragons and like little like space monsters and weird stuff like that. Um, and then I don't know, I started like my uncle had got me into comics, and I started like um, I wouldn't really read them as much as I would just sit there and just like study the art
Okay.
behind everything, and like we'd go out to comic shops and stuff, and like I'd get a comic that like the guy behind the counter is like, oh, that's a stupid comic, you don't want that one. But I'm like, nah, the art looks cool. I don't really care what the content is inside. I want to see the art. And so I kind of was that's how I started getting my foot in the door with comics, and then I started getting more in depth with comics. But yeah, it's just I think just getting around influences, like the right people who kind of just helped me. It just kept pushing me to keep drawing, keep going.
Cool. When do you say you really got serious about it? When was it like, oh shit, maybe this is something I want to do for a while? Was it from that beginning, from that point on in third grade, or was this later down the line?
I think it was around like probably like I mean in high school I started like getting more into like just drawing more. I took like every year that I could I took at my art class and everything, and if I wasn't in there for the class I was there before school, during lunch, after school, hanging out, just um, taking advantage of the supplies and the association, like my teachers and things like that. And there, I think like maybe junior year, I started getting more and more serious about it. I started coming up with an idea for like a comic with me and all my buddies and everything. And like, well, I could probably put something together and actually like make something out of it. And I don't know, since I think it was about since high school, I started like actually pushing more and more into it. So I made sure that I took as many art classes as I could when I went to college, and just kept pushing from there.
Sweet, dude. That's pretty dope, man. Any
Yeah.
what are your early inspirations besides comic books? Like who specifically in comic books, man? Like as far as characters
Uh,
or artists.
well, I know like Todd Knock was definitely a huge
Ah,
inspiration. I would see a
yeah.
lot of his stuff on like Young Justice, like X Men's, he did a bunch of Spider Man stuff. I would see his stuff. Todd McFarlane, I would see a lot of his stuff. My uncle actually had a bunch of like old Todd McFarlane comics and everything, the old Spider Man, some Venom ones and stuff like that. And so um, he would show me those, and he would ask me to like draw them, and so I'd sit there and just try to copy them, and everything like that. But I mean, Knock and McFarlane were definitely like huge. And then in about I think it was like my sophomore year, my dad had taken me to my first ever Comic Con. They have Phoenix Comic Con down here, um, and I ran into some guys, and my dad told me to bring my sketchbook, and I showed him my book, and they were pretty impressed. I mean, for my age and everything, they thought it was pretty good. They gave me some pointers and stuff like that. And actually, one of the guys, his name's Eric Arriaga. Um, Really cool guy. He's from San Diego. He's actually like every year I see him at Comic Con, and I chat him up. He always asks me like how's the art going, stuff like that. He'll message me from time to time. We'll go back and forth a little bit to kind of talk about like some tips and tricks and like how things are going. So he's definitely been a big inspiration and big I don't know, he's just been a big motivator for me.
No, that's pretty cool, man. I think you know what, this is one of the things that I'm seeing amongst the community of artists. It's at least for right now the type of artists I'd be having on. The fan artwork. So a lot of us are. I think that's our first steps in the introduction is the word I'm trying to look for into doing all this fun stuff here,
Yeah.
man. Cool, man. Any artists you're following now, man, that are your inspiration as far as I tell people in the past, either people on here or newcomers, old schoolers,
Um,
besides Todd McFarlane and Todd Knott.
yeah, I mean, Knock is still always going to be an inspiration. Eddie Nunez art
Okay, yeah.
is really, yeah, he's really solid. I like looking at his stuff. There's this kid, I'm sure you know him, Ethan Castillo. Um, Kid's like 15, and he's crushing it right now. Ethan Castillo 05. Yeah, he's 15, and I remember seeing his stuff when he was about 9.
Oh shit.
So I've been following him for a while, and his stuff when he was 9 was like really good.
Okay.
And I was like, this little shit. I totally got bitter about it. I was like, this kid is killing it right now. It's probably because he doesn't have a job. He just goes to school and doodles all day, comes home and draws all day, and just gets so much practice. But no, I just to see where he was at 9 to now, I'm blown away. And I look at some of his stuff, and I'm like, okay, how can I try to emulate that style? How can I try to like pick some of his style and throw it into mine because he obviously is crushing it.
Oh yeah.
I want to kind of just like I just watch his stuff and I just learn from him and I'm like this kid's a genius. This kid's amazing. So he's really awesome.
He's got it.
Yeah,
Is it?
definitely crushed it.
No, yeah. I'm looking at his page right now. Yeah, he's holy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Fuck, where was I at 15?
I know.
No, that's pretty cool though, man. I'm definitely gonna give this guy a follow.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Plug. You know what I mean? Ethan Castillo. Yeah, dude. As far as like your style of artwork, dude. Like I was saying right in the beginning. Your coloring, dude. Your coloring's on point, bro. When did you start messing around with color, dude?
I think it was about like after I had met with Eric back around like my first couple of years of going to Comic Con and talking to him. He had mentioned like what materials he had used at some points. There's another one that I follow, Hodges Art. Tom Hodges, he breaks out a lot of like Copic markers, and he told me like those are like really good materials to use. Expensive, but they're high quality. They're pretty worth it. And so I started like playing around with those. I started watching a lot of Todd Knock videos because he talks about how like the brush pen on the Copic is similar to like watercolors, and he likes watercolors a lot. And I used to do a lot of watercolor when I was younger, so um, kind of kind of getting into that. So I like to, I don't know, it's probably like around like end of high school, or like after I graduated or something like that. 2011 or 12 when I started messing around with more colors and stuff. I was just before just using Sharpies.
Okay.
Um, Quality wasn't all that great. You got the job done. But once I switched over to like Copic markers and Prism markers, um, definitely like I could see a difference in the quality of the work. It looked a lot better.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that statement, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. At least for something like my experiences with watercolors, I definitely want to test out something more of the price range. You know, a little more expensive. Seeing the quality of those
Yeah.
colors, man.
Yeah.
Now, when you started drawing, dude, was it something that you kind of like you had a neck for it, or was it something that your skills kind of worked up to it? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I would definitely say that I worked up to it. Um, I look, my mom would always encourage me to save my like my drawings when I was younger. She's like, save them so you can come back and reference them and look to see like where your progress is. I was over at her house the other day, cleaning out some stuff, and I see some of my old drawings. I'm like, man, these are fucking busted. Like, what was I thinking? Um, so definitely, I think it mainly just because it interests me. So I just kept putting more time and effort into it. I took a bunch of classes, like I said, in schools, and just made sure that I put an investment in myself because that's something that I really liked. I wasn't like big into sports or anything when I was a kid, so I would just sit in my room, hang out, and just like sit there and draw, throw some music on, and just sit there and draw for hours. Um, there was actually a point where one summer, from like beginning of summer to end of summer, every day I'd wake up, just drawing until I'd be like 2 in the morning and I'd pass out.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
by the end of summer, yeah, by the end of summer, blisters on my fingers, and I would actually like be bleeding
Oh shit.
while I was yeah, it got pretty rough, and which is actually like the inspiration for like this tattoo right here. I don't know if anybody can see. It's a pencil with blood on
All
it.
right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just I felt like in that moment I showed myself like how dedicated I was to my craft and how much it like really meant to me that I was willing to like get blisters and like literally bleed for what I love to do.
Fuck. After that, start drawing some pentagrams on the floor with your blood and shit.
Oh, I know. I should have just right there and just all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah. no,
for
no,
sure.
but definitely, man. Becoming a total package, he's like, that's some dedication, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Props to that. Fucking
Yeah,
badass.
yeah. I know like there's people out there that they I hear it all the time, like, cause they'll see me like drawing and stuff. I'll go to like the Starbucks next door and stuff, and just hang out and just draw. And people come up and say like, "Oh man, I wish I was like I can't even draw a stick figure. I wish I was talented like you. I wish I could. I wish I had the art gene or whatever they say,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of like it's like I mean you can if you want to. Like there's athletes, there's musicians and stuff like that. The only difference is that they chose music, they chose sports, I chose art. If you just keep pushing, just do what you do. I just liked art. That guy liked athletics. That guy liked music, and so they just continue to push on what they liked to get better at what they do, and now they're really good at it. So it's the same thing. If somebody's really like really interested in whatever they're interested in, just do it and do it enough time, long enough, and you'll get really good at it.
No, yeah, and that once again that kind of reminds me to another thing that I usually say to artists is one of the best things here about this whole Instagram thing is that you could actually see your progress from day one. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And you
Yeah,
yourself, I mean, I checked out your stuff, and dude, you could definitely see massive improvements, dude, on it. Just from your line work to your actual coloring. So yeah,
mhm.
dude, definitely see that progress, dude. Always grinding.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I know sometimes like I think to myself, like I got a lot of posts. Maybe I should start deleting some of the
Nah,
old
bro,
ones
no.
that I don't use. Absolutely. And I like to go back to it and like it's way easier now to kind of just like see where I was and where I am now instead of like having to go dig through a bunch of drawers at my mom's place. Um, so it's way cooler. And then also one of the things I like to do is I like to take a piece that I had before and then just like spin it into like what style I was at then to spin it into the style that I'm at now.
Oh,
Kind of see how I can improve on
yeah,
it.
yeah, dude. Like the latest two, that Bane and that Jason you dropped on Friday, dude. They
Yeah.
dope, dope. You know, the shadowing, like I said, the coloring is on point now, and all of this is what, marker, or is this watercolor as well?
Yeah. That's all marker. Yeah, it's
Fuck
all
yeah.
Copic, Prisma, and there's like this cheap ass one that I get from Michael's, the Artist Loft one.
Ah, dude,
Um,
don't knock artist loft, dude. they're
uh,
they
this marker, dude, I got it right here. It's definitely it gets the job done. It works when you're on a budget. So I've been like going after these lately, but they don't last very long. They definitely die out pretty fast.
uh
The
dude, and artist loft was they were actually promoting us, bro. They were gonna hook you up with a 500 piece,
shit.
but now you know I just got the email right now, dude. I'm looking at it.
Ah, damn.
Fuck.
They're great.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah. No, they're actually they're really good and everything. They get like I said, they get the job done. A lot of the pieces that I have up there now are have like a handful of markers done marker work done with those markers. It's just man, they go to shit pretty quick. So I need to kind of keep just make sure I keep going back in there.
Let's see. Total package has yeah,
Total package.
inspiring them, man, to push harder on things not even related to artistry, real shit. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
right on,
fuck,
man. Good.
fuck yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
100, dude, on that. Totally agree with that.
Absolutely.
That's what.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
fuck yeah, dude. That's what life is about, guys. Don't take this art shit too seriously. You hear me? Nah, I'm just joking. Keep grinding. Keep
Yeah.
really grinding for real.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, man. So you know, just seeing that you're a comic fan, you know, it definitely shows in all the fan art that you're doing. You know, you got a lot of pop culture shit. You know, you got, what is this, Vinny here that you got here?
Which one?
Is that him? The
Oh no, that's
oh,
Mike, the
the
situation.
situation. There you go. Fuck. Well,
Yeah. I did that one back in school, dude. Damn.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's on point though, dude. It's there. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's like with Play-Doh.
Wait, what?
Yeah. The my instructor had given us he said here I'm going to give you guys a word that's going to be you take that word and you go ahead and make a piece of art out of something that you associate with it and make the picture. So my word was artificial.
Okay.
So I thought, and I was watching a lot of Jersey Shore at the time too, so it really fit. I love the drama, but I thought like these people are so fake. Totally fits the artificial part. I was like, what can I do that's completely artificial that I can make the situation? And I just went and got a bunch of Play-Doh, and I was like, perfect, this is it. And so I put that up on like a board and just stuck it all up together and everything and made the situation.
Dude, man, you had me suckered, bro. I thought this was like some oils and shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, I probably could go backward and try to do that again. I remember I had it on Play-Doh and like it was in my mom's garage for such a long time and it started like to crack and peel.
Ah,
Pieces were falling off and everything like that. And I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna chuck it." But yeah, damn, it definitely was really fun doing that one.
dude, that shit goes.
Nobody knew what it was until it like was finished.
Yeah, dude, that shit goes hard, dude. That had me full, dude. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's a good.
really fun
Yeah,
time.
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's definitely like
About that.
pop culture. Oh, did it die out?
No, my baby mama's calling, but
Oh no,
yeah,
it's
I guess you
good.
could wait. Uh, She can wait. Not missing anything, guys.
Yeah. No, but yeah, a lot of the stuff is like it's what I'm interested in, pop culture stuff, um, comic books, movies, sci-fi, all that fun stuff like that. So I just try to like put that in there.
Cool. Who would you say one of your favorite characters to draw is, man? If you had to pick one.
Right now, I think it's Deathstroke.
Mm.
Um, I don't even know why. I just Deathstroke has just been like on the forefront of my mind. Around October, it was Jason. Like I could not put like pencil to paper without popping out like a Jason mask. So that was definitely weird. Um, but yeah, I'm doing a lot of just doodling around like when I'm at work and stuff like that, and just doodle around and just put down um, Deathstroke, and like I guess he's like warming me. It's like a warm up, and then I just move in and just on something else.
Cool. Would you consider yourself a part-time or full-time artist, man?
More part time, I guess, because I kind of just try to do it when I have time for it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, the goal is to eventually become a full time artist, so I can just mainly focus on that. But I got to get rid of the 9 to 5.
Cool. Yeah, that's actually one of my questions. Your art goals for that, man. And when you say your art goals to just to make money off of it, or do you see yourself trying to like go pro or get published or?
I originally wanted to be a like an artist for like one of the big
Yeah.
companies, Marvel, DC, Image, something like that. Um, I don't know necessarily if that's something that I'm looking for anymore. It's definitely like on the radar. It's up there. I don't know if I want to like push strictly for that. I kind of just want to be able to make just basically get an asset based off of my art, be able to kind of like um, I want my art to fund
No,
itself, essentially.
definitely. Uh,
Yeah, I would love to kind of get into like make myself like a big name, make my own comic and stuff like that, and get that rolling. But right now, the big goal is just to at least have my art fund itself.
no, dope, man. Have you ever thought about as far as like working with Marvel and stuff like that? You ever thought about doing like sketch cards for them? Uh, I know a lot of artists who are into that game, and I think that's a nice little step, to get your name out there.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen a lot of those, like a lot of the sketch cards and everything, and I was always curious,
Mm,
like how does somebody even get those? Because they come shipped from like Marvel,
correct.
right? They ship it to the person. Yeah, I never like knew how to like go about doing that, but yeah, that'd be really cool to have something like that. That'd be really fun.
Dude, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that should be definitely a one of your little goals for 2020, man. I could definitely see you doing this, man. Looking at the work, looking at the detail. I'm pretty sure you're able to crunch, the small details and fine liners and stuff like
Mhm.
that into your work for the sketch cards. So
Nice, yeah.
I
I would definitely be up
yeah,
for
dude,
that.
I would love to see that, see you put your skills towards
Hmm.
that, man. Try it out. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, keep that open. Also, I recently started getting into slats, the 228 labels, and I seen that you do that. You did some of those, in the past before, man. Definitely bring
Yeah,
those out
I,
too.
yeah, I had some of those like back in like hell 2013, I believe it was. I had a buddy of mine just give me a bunch of the slaps, and I was like, all right, well, I was chilling at work, and I was just doodling while I was at work and everything, and I just brought them home and then finished them all up, and they look pretty cool now. And then I found some more like around like a few years later, um, dripped some more stuff on those, and now I got a couple of them just chilling in the just chilling in storage right now.
Oh man, definitely, yeah. I've gotten hooked on them, dude. And
Yeah.
your art, it's right there, especially for the canvas that you work on that you showed me earlier. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, dude. Right up your alley as well, man. I think there's a large fan base is what I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
For the
Yeah.
228s.
Yeah, for sure. I need to like get. I want to go get some more of those because I mean, like even just to shop them around, get the name out.
Anything you're currently working on, dude? Any current projects right now at the moment?
Yeah. I in one of my books, I have a handful of like I have a Craven the Hunter that I'm working on, another Gambit that I'm playing around with, a bunch of little stuff like that. I put it down in one of my sketchbooks. I call it like the shit book. Um, it's just it's just a little book that I put like here's an idea. I usually put it down on like a post-it note
Okay.
first, to see like, okay, cool, then I can do this. These are the shapes. These are the lines I got to put down. I put it in the shit book. Like, okay, cool. This is what it's gonna look like. And then I get like quality paper, and I actually just put it all down on there, or like to kind of um, like idea, rough draft, final draft
Okay.
type.
That's the
Um,
process.
and I got a couple of stuff sitting in the book.
Yeah, nice process, dude.
Yeah,
Whatever.
definitely kind of like it gets me
Yeah,
rolling.
dude, whatever works, right?
Yeah.
When you're not drawing, dude, what are you doing, man? You got any other hobbies besides this?
Um, Play some PC
Okay,
games.
cool.
I've been playing Apex. Definitely wasn't my favorite game. I used to talk shit about it, but then I had a few friends that were like, "Oh, let's play," and I jump in. I'm like, "Okay, cool. I like this now." Um, Outside of that, I've got like another like business venture that I've been working on too to try to get myself like financially independent and everything, so I can then fund more of my art and be able to focus on primarily art. So I'm just running around doing that type of stuff too.
Cool. Now, when you're doing art, man, I mean, we all had it artist block. You know, it's like
Yeah,
how do you overcome that, man? Do you just let it slide, or wait it out, or is there?
throw a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Throw some shit. No, I've definitely had like days where like I'm trying to draw and like nothing good is coming out at all, and so yeah, I get a little frustrated and just throw shit around, have a little tantrum about it. But no, I find like one of the biggest ways is to yeah take a break, because if for myself anyway, if I keep trying to push myself when I'm already at that point of like nothing is coming out, I'm doing is just upsetting myself more and more. I'm getting myself more and more pissed off,
Yeah.
and for me, art is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a relief. It's supposed to be like my relaxation time. And if it's pissing me off, it's getting me upset, then I need to step back. Yeah. So many times I've ripped up stuff, crumpled it up, it's been a mess, but I need to a lot of times I try to remind myself like it's supposed to be fun. Chill out. If you're not having fun, back off, go watch a movie, go play some games, do something else, and then come back to it later on. Sometimes I'll have to come back to it like a couple days later.
Right.
And but yeah, that's why I like to still just keep doodling. Have like a like I said, post-it notes or like a little scrap piece of paper, and just draw little things that I know that I can draw,
Yeah.
and that kind of eventually gets me warmed back up into drawing something that I wanted to draw.
Cool. And we got into commissions, right? You do commissions and stuff.
I do commissions every once in a while. I'm more trying to like push my existing art out just because those ones are done. It's really easy to make prints of those. I can go ahead and get those out to people really quick. Somebody commissions me to do a piece that takes up more time, more money, all the supplies and everything like that. And not a lot of people are down to pay what I feel my time and supplies are worth. So I've been more pushing towards like, hey, here's what I got instead. Like, draw me this piece. No, I got this for you instead. If you'd like to do that, it'd be way easier, way cheaper for you, stuff like that. But occasionally somebody will give me an idea of like, hey, here's what I'm looking for. I'm like, okay, that's too cool to pass up. I'm gonna jump on that.
Sweet. Being an artist, dude, anything hard to draw for you, dude? Anything that you still try to be like, I really don't have this on lock yet, or
Dude, anything machines. Like I've
yeah.
had so many people say like, "Hey, can you draw like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, or anything like that?" I'm like, "Dude, if it's a robot with gears, I'm not touching it." Like, it's so difficult. I've tried so many times, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's so good," but to my standards, I'm like, "This looks like shit." Um, like that's one of the reasons why like Star Wars is my favorite, but I don't have a lot of like Darth Vader up
Okay.
because of like all his angles and everything. It frustrates me to try to draw
Okay.
him. Um, I know one of these days I'm gonna have to get in there and just suck it up and just do it. Um, Another thing is like females. For some
Yeah.
reason, I it's drawing the female face is just bugs the hell out of me. I feel like I can't nail it down. I try. I definitely try a lot and everything, and I look at them like, I mean, it looks better than the one I did before, and that one looks better than that one, but it's still something I need work on. I need practice on.
Yeah, that's it's funny. There's a couple things I still suffer with as well, man. Especially for females, it's just like their jaw structure and everything. You know what I say? Oh,
Yeah,
dude. So sweet, man. I mean, shit. That's us, right? We're our worst critics and shit. You know, I said it once and I'll say it again.
yeah. You get people that'll tell you like, "Oh, it looks great." And it's like, no, it doesn't. Stop. But they think it's great, and I'm just like, no, I can't let this go. I can't let you have this. It's not up to standards.
Fuck, I feel that, dude. How's your
Yeah.
how's your art schedule like, dude? I mean, how many hours do you dedicate to just drawing? Is it something you just do here and there, or as much as you can?
I'll
Or
usually like to. I try to do like about roughly maybe like an hour a day. After work, I'll run over to like a coffee shop or a Starbucks or something like that, and I'll um, I'll just sit there for like an hour or so, just sitting there, just drawing, just putting lines on paper, just to keep going. I feel like it's more productive than just coming home where there's more distractions, where like I can put my bag down, put my sketchbook out and everything, but I'll click on the TV or I'll jump on the video game or something like that. Then I just will focus on that for the rest of the night, when I could be still working on perfecting my art. So I like to get into a place where like I have to just focus on just my art. There's no other like distractions that I would be on.
okay, oh, that's cool, man. Uh,
Yeah, so a couple hours.
yeah, that's not bad, not bad at all. Like for me, it's yeah. I mean, just talking to other artists, there's people. The reason I bring it up is because there's people that are they're either full time, so they're usually all around their life, that it's all around their art. There's people that kind of like try to manage and organize, the 15 minutes here and there, right before they go to bed. But
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool knowing, just other people's process, and we all learn from
Yeah.
each other. You know what I'm saying? So maybe your tips that you give out might help somebody else, and vice versa. So that's always awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like if you only have like 15 minutes a day, maximize on it and everything. If you only have like an hour to do it, maximize on it. Make sure that you're working your best, to put out potentially your best work. And even if it's not your best work, you're at least still keeping the muscles moving. But yeah, it's really just like how much dedication are you willing to put into something if you love it.
Now the $1 million question: Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
that was
Yeah.
quick. That was quick, ladies and gentlemen. One
Yeah.
of these days, I'm gonna have a poll, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Um, Yeah, definitely Marvel. I still love DC. I know more about Marvel, just because my uncle would show me a lot more Marvel comics and everything, and got me into the comics, and he would show me a lot more Marvel stuff, and we'd go into it, and he'd show me DC and show me some Batman and junk like that. But I was never really I never felt like Batman was as relatable for me. I just felt more related to a lot of the characters in the Marvel universe, and so I kind of just like geared towards that. But I mean, definitely all really cool characters like to draw out and everything like that. A bunch of wild stuff from like back in like the 70s and stuff like the Jack Kirby era and stuff like that on the DC side. There's a lot of wild stuff
Yeah,
to sit there and draw, and those are fun.
cool, man. Let's go into shout out to my boy Josh Queen, CRL. Yeah, if you're in here, man. Let's go into Josh's tool bags, bro. Let's talk more about your tools and stuff that you use, man.
Right on, right on.
I guess let's start with pencils. You know what I mean? That's base pencil.
Nothing crazy. Yeah, I just use a plain old big pencil.
Fuck yeah.
Just Yeah, plain old pencil, nothing ridiculous. Because I go over it with pencil and I put it on pencil first, and then I go in there and line it up with like a Faber-Castell,
Okay, yeah.
Faber-Castell, whatever. Um, then so the pencil for me doesn't really matter too much.
Okay.
Personally, I like to just make sure that I can, like I said, on a budget and everything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I just get a regular old pencil and then I go over it with the ink pens there. Um, and then, oh, actually, I got these other pens too that were just like I was chilling the coffee shop, and then this guy was drawing too. And he's like, "Hey, you can have these little pens. You'll use them more than I will. They're Staedtler
Okay.
um, Staedtler pigment liners. These have actually been really solid for me lately. I've been using these ones a lot. Um, they're definitely like really come in handy um, to get like a lot of like the black coverage. Besides like some Copics and some of the artist lock markers are really good for black because they will blend really well if you go over them, so they'll like smooth out. But if I need like a hard dark, I'll just throw in a Sharpie. Um, and then, yeah, I use Prismas and Copics whenever I can, if I have any still. Um,
Any preference between Prismas and Copics?
I personally like Copics I feel like the quality is a couple notches above
Okay.
Prisma, but Prismas are affordable and I feel like they do last a little bit longer.
Okay.
But they don't have like from what I know of, I've never seen any, but I don't think they have any like refillables for Prismas.
Hmm.
Whereas Copics, you can buy the little like refills for them and just keep those going.
Sweet. I didn't even know
Um,
that.
yeah, it's super cool. I have like I would always like buy like I had to get black, grays, and like skin
Hmm.
tone colors, and I would have to buy like so many of them, which like for like $8-9 a pop. But if you go and get the refills, I want to say the refills are like maybe like 15, maybe $20, but it will last you about 30 markers.
Okay. Oh shit.
So it's definitely worth it. Absolutely, if you're using Copics, they definitely help out a lot. Um, for like highlights too, I use just the little jelly roll from Sakura.
Okay.
I don't know. I see a lot of other artists use these like just sliding around like super easy. For me, they've been hit or miss. Like I have to like put a line down, go over there and like mess with it and put it down there again because it's all funky and everything. But hey, it still gets the job done. Um, but I do a lot of my work like I said like on just post-it notes. I start that first,
Hmm.
then I go and I have these Canson um, sketchbooks. You get them at like Michael's, like they're usually on sale, like buy one get one free or
Well,
whatever. And then I get
what kind of medium is that
go
for?
ahead.
The yellow one.
This one it just says this one's it's a green one. It just says just drawing on it. It doesn't say anything specific.
Okay, just drawing paper.
Um, yeah, but like I said, I put this one. This like I said, it's my shit book. So what I'll usually do is I'll go in and I'll kind of like feel the quality of paper.
Okay.
If it feels too rough, or like if I feel like if I put a pencil line down and like my hand goes over it, will like it's smeared like
Oh,
drastically,
okay.
then I don't want it. The paper quality isn't going to be too good for
There you
me.
go.
Um,
Let's see some of that art
but
then,
if it, oh, and not in that one. That's a mess. Um,
man.
but this is the Black Bolt that I have on my
One of my
page.
favorites.
This is actually once I got this one. This was the first thing that I put in here. It actually started with just this little post-it note.
Oh, it's nice.
Um, yeah, like I said, I put them on post-it notes to see like, okay, I can draw that. Then I put it in the shit book, and it actually looked out a little bit better than I thought. And I was like, okay, put some color on this and kind of like see if you can fuck it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And it got a lot better than I thought. And I was like, okay, hold on to this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. That's badass.
Um, yeah, eventually I want to put this on the quality paper that I like to use, which is I get Strathmore Bristol paper.
Awesome.
Uh, Yeah, I love using this kind. They didn't have it on sale last time I went into Michael's though, so I went and got the Canson Bristol paper, which it feels a little different, but it'll still get the job done. Mainly, I use the Strathmore one. It takes the marker a lot better than some of the other papers out there, and that's what I want to look for. I don't want it to bleed too much or smear too much, so I like to get those ones if I can.
Definitely, I agree with you, man. Definitely one of the best,
Yeah, there
one
you
of the
go.
best marker that I think it takes marker well as well. Just coming from my
Yeah,
experience
yeah,
as
for
well.
sure. Yeah, it's a super good one. I had one of my buddies from my art class back in college tell me that like you want to get like good quality paper. You don't want to skimp on
Yeah,
paper, because it doesn't matter like what you're putting down. If it's your best work that you're putting down, if you're putting it on bad paper, it's not going to take well when you try to like put more into it. It's not going to last very long either. So I made sure that like if I can swing it, then yeah, I'm going to go for the Strathmore. If I can't swing it at that moment, then the Canton's really good
yeah, yeah,
anyway. It's still really
yeah,
good.
yeah. No, I don't
Yeah.
knock on it either, but they're both good. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, just in case we need a sponsor for this one too.
right? In case they do, they're listening. Hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe a year from
But
now.
yeah, yeah. That's what I got going right there. And like to cut my pieces, I gotta take that Strathmore paper and I cut it up like a couple different times to get like about that 5 by 6
Okay.
range. I got instead of using scissors because your boy can't really keep straight. I just got one of these bad things and just
Oh,
cut it all apart.
that's badass. I need one of those.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, if you like to go downscale and everything like that, and the idea I had like to start cutting my pieces, not only to save money on like supplies, so like I can do less area coverage, but also like it gives me more paper to play
Yeah,
with.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
I can turn this. What was this? This was 20 sheets before. I was able to like cut this up like 4 different ways, and I was able to I don't know what's
80?
20 times 4 or 80. Yeah, like 80 different little pieces there, and I mean out of the 80, probably like 20 actually good ones.
Yeah,
But
fuck it.
um, yeah, I feel like that it's way easier just to manage too.
Any crazy commissions that you've been asked to do, man?
So there's one. This chick wanted a sketch cover, X-Men. She wanted her boyfriend to be an X-Men, and I had asked her so many times. I was like, okay, cool. So like, how do you want it done? She's like, oh, you're really good. I trust you. Just do what you need to do. I was like, doesn't give me a lot to go off of, but okay. She's like, just make him a superhero and everything. And I was like, okay, fine. And so I just did a very, just a static pose, like the guy standing and everything. She's like, oh no, I don't like that. And I was like, okay, then what are you looking for? Well, just do what you need to do. I trust you. Still not giving me anything to go off of, but all right, I'll do something else. So she didn't like him just standing there posing, so I did him like in an action shot. And I showed her, and mind you, like I'm putting like on, not on the sketch cover yet. I'm doing it like on like my like Bristol
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
I'm putting in the effort. I'm putting in the lines, the inks, the markers, and everything like that. I'm putting it all together. It's kind of rough still, but I'm showing like this. Like, what about this? What about this? What about this? No, the whole time.
Wow.
I went through like 4 or 5 different like phases of this,
Wow.
and then I was like, okay, I don't know what you want. Like, you need to like stop dicking around and tell me straight up what are you looking for, so I know what to do. If you're paying me, I need to make sure you like it and you're good with it. But in order to do that, you need to tell me what you want.
Yeah.
So she finally broke down and was like, okay, I want him to be fighting another character. I was like, okay, who's his favorite character? She's like, Gambit. I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. So I drew it up where they were fighting, and she's like, no, I want it like this. And she sends me a panel of like Gambit fighting some other character. I forget who it was. And I was like, okay, I can do this, but you keep on. Every time I show you something, you keep giving me something new to go off of that like contradicts what we wanted to do beforehand. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not the guy for you. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I've used up too much of my time, my resources, and everything. I'm over this.
Wow.
And it wasn't even worth the money at that point. And she just, no, please, I want to. No, I'm done. I don't want to. every day for a solid 2 weeks, she'd hit me up asking me to come back and do it and do it and do it. And I was like, look, I'm not doing this. Go find yourself another artist. Make sure that you tell them what you want because I'm not the guy for you anymore. You need somebody else. Um, and she was like, well, I'll double the price. Okay. Now we can talk about it again. And I was like, look, this is the last one. You're doubling the price. You're giving me half right now. You give me the other half on completion, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, and you're gonna like it. And she was finally down with it. And I came up with this one. I didn't even bother taking a picture of it because I was so pissed. But you know, it was like he was like fighting Gambit and everything like that. It looked really dope. I went and dropped it off, and I was like, "Here you go." She gave my money, and she's like, "Well, thank you so much. It's so great." Blah blah. It's like, yeah, whatever. She's like, "I'll hit you up for more," and I was like, "Please don't ever talk to me again." And I walked out. I never saw her again.
Block.
Yeah, thank God I never got anything back from her because that was a mess and a half. I hated it.
Oh, dude, that's funny. That sucks, dude, but funny.
Yeah, for a while it actually turned me off from like commission work, and I was like, I never want to do this shit again. But then I got somebody else who gave me commission. I was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. Okay, you give me your idea, I go and do it. Give it to you, pay me, we're good. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It is definitely rough.
At this time, let's open up for questions from the people, from the viewers, and back to your commissions. Actually, Halo, you know, he likes to do taking half up front, you know, which is something I think I'm going to start doing as well on my own policy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's actually what I've been starting to. Yo, Halo, I'm gonna follow you right now because I see you're following me. What a dick. There we go.
Oh. You know it, dude.
But yeah, I started doing that too. Where people are like, "Oh, well, can you draw me this, that, the other?" I'm like, "Okay, but you're gonna have to give me the money because I need that money to go and get the supplies to go ahead and fund the project."
Yeah.
And then I go and pass it off to them. So, like I said, sometimes like the price is a little too steep for their taste and everything, but it's because my fucking supplies aren't cheap.
Yeah,
no. The fucking Copics are like almost $10.
Yeah, no, the value is it's in the value, dude, of the work. You know what I'm saying? And you do outstanding work. So I mean, how much do you charge for a regular piece for a regular 5x? Like that Jason.
For one of that Jason one, that was actually on one of these ones, which is what is this? Fucking 5x5x, so like 6x9. On original pieces, I'll run them like maybe $50, okay, depending on the like what they're looking for. If they're looking just like for a head sketch, $50. If they're looking for like a full body, or like if they're looking for like a bust, maybe like 60.
Okay. If
it's like a full body, like with a couple of characters and stuff like that, I'm probably gonna run them like 70, 80. Yeah, original is what I average about is like about 45 to 50, okay, kind of depending on what they're going for, what they're looking to get. And then, like I said, I kind of ask now for half or at least a chunk of it up front so I can just go buy the supplies and then actually work on it because I have a lot of supplies, but a lot of them are like the ink's drying up or like there's not a lot left to it. So a lot of the stuff that they're looking for, I'm going to need something to kind of kickstart it. So and then also I need to make some type of profit from it. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Yeah. The little ones, I'm usually like $20-$30, and then prints are always like $15 a pop, if that.
You ever been in any conventions, like Artist Alley or anything like that, or maybe something around the neighborhood? You know, like a local little art thing. We have in Phoenix. We have like a downtown. It's called First Fridays. It's like a little art down in the this one of our streets. It's very well known for like a lot of like art culture around. Okay. And so like you can set up a little booth and have like your art. A lot of people peddle their they make bracelets, t-shirts, stuff like that. Years ago I had a friend who got us a table
down there, and I brought a bunch of my. I had a lot of paintings at that time, like splatter and abstract art and stuff like that. So I had a lot of that I brought, and I brought a bunch of like um, prints of like my comics and stuff like that. We were unfortunately in a less visited area
Oh
of
man.
it. It was like behind this like house, and like you had to like walk through like a dirt path to get to it. So it was out of the way. We had a couple people come through, but nobody was looking for anything. But that was my first experience with like having a setup,
Okay.
and I was like, well, at least I got the worst part out of the way. Um, and then I had another friend who was going to get me into Tucson Comic Con. We had everything ready to go. I had gotten a bunch of prints. I had gotten like the banner. I had everything ready. And last minute, her friend had bailed out. And her friend was the connection that we had to get in there. And we needed to like get our passes, like our exhibitor passes and
Yeah.
everything. He had bailed out, and it was just a whole mess. There was gonna be like I think a couple of us like sharing the booth, and the one guy who was supposed to get everything situated, he bailed out, and so we were like, well, now we can't do anything.
Fuck.
But the goal is to eventually get to have a table at con
No, got it.
for sure.
Thalo Halo says, how do you get your prints done?
I usually just go to
Okay.
FedEx and get some copies over there. I used to just do it myself. It was pretty difficult trying to like line up and get I get like the picture,
Yeah.
and I would tape the back of it and put it like on a white piece of paper, like find like right in the center. Just go in there and like just make a copy of it and put it on like some cardstock,
Okay.
and it would work for a good portion of them, and then every once in a while the printer would like smear
Ooh.
the page as it would get printed out. And so now I just go over to the people at the front desk and ask them to do it, and they just digitally move it around and everything like that. So it actually has like a little frame almost,
Cool.
and it looks actually it was really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Last,
So that's
no, no, sorry to cut you off, man. We're
no, go
getting
ahead.
close to time. I think we got about 3 minutes. So pretty, very quick. Last question. Best type of paper for prints?
I use glossy cardstock, heavyweight number 3, I believe it's called.
Okay, cool.
Um, Yeah, it's the one that one of the people from FedEx recommended, and it looks really freaking sick. It's kind of got that gloss finish over it and everything like that. It's nice, thick paper, heavy paper, so it feels really good. It's easy to throw up in a frame and everything too.
Sweet. In a minute or less, man. Genesis of You Know It, Dude Art. What's up with the name?
My dad used to have a catchphrase. He would just, I don't know, he would just say this all the time. He would say, "You know it," to like everything. He'd be like, hey dad, you working overtime tonight? You know it. Hey dad, are we gonna go to get ice cream later? You know it. All this, he was dumb, and so he wanted to put that on his license plate. He got a Chrysler 300. He decked it all out and everything. He just wanted a really nice, really cool license plate. So he thought he put, you know it. He spelled it Yaknoit.
Okay.
You know it. And he saw it and he goes, Dad, I was like, Dad, that says Yaknoit. He's like, this is fucking stupid. And then he just walked away. And I was like, that's a fun word.
You know it.
And so,
Awesome.
yeah, so Yaknoit. That's the I go with Yaknoit, but yeah, it's you know
You
it.
know
Yeah,
it. You know
absolutely.
it. K is silent. You know it. You know it, dude.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. I got it on everything. I got it right here. I don't know if it's backwards, but it's on my Hydro Flask
Oh,
too.
that's dope. You should get that shit tatted or something.
Bro, that's the next step
Yeah.
too. Yeah, just throw it up on me. I every once in a while I'll go up to a place like I see like a dusty ass car or whatever, I'll just put it on there too. It's my own little tag.
There you go, man. Well, a couple
Yeah.
minutes left, dude. It's a fun interview as well, man. Thank you for coming on Zen's Double Daily Double today.
Yeah.
Nick, thank.
For sure, man. This is fun.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I'm definitely not gonna. It's not the last time. If you want to come back, you always have an open invitation, bro. Just give me your
Absolutely.
time and stuff. Uh, so long story short, thank you, Nick. You know it, dude. Art, you know it. Underscore dude, you know it. Or I mean, underscore art. Uh, make sure you guys give him a follow. Make sure you guys love this, share it. Uh, check out the stream on YouTube as well on my channel, The Real Zim Zimmer, or type in Chatting with Zim. And this has been episode number 11 with You Know It, Dude, Art. Mr. Nick. Awesome, dude. Always a pleasure, guys. And Monday, the 23rd of this month, be doing something. Doing something a little longer. So I invite you to come back in, man, and pop in and see what's going on for the holidays, bro. Open invite.
For sure, brother.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Thanks
man.
again, guys, for everybody who viewed in. Make sure you guys like it.